Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're talking all about designer handbag investments. Which brands have the most hype, which brands have the strongest resale power, and which handbag models specifically make for great designer handbag investments. So as someone who has formerly worked in the designer luxury sales world, I've seen a lot, I've tried on a lot of bags, I've sold a lot of bags, and I've worked in that industry for 6 to 7 years. I'm a bag collector myself and lover of all designer handbags. So I figured why not do this video, as some of us might be preparing for our next designer purchases in our summer travels to Europe. And I figured I would even talk a little bit about the history behind the bags and brands. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay guys, so first and foremost, I want to talk about the Hermes Birkin. If you guys didn't know the story behind the Birkin, it's truly iconic. It's named after Jane Birkin, and it's because she was flying to London, and coincidentally, she was sitting next to, at that moment in time, the CEO of Hermes. Her stuff had fell out of her current Hermes bag, and she had made a comment that went along the lines of, if only Hermes was making a bigger bag with better compartments, this wouldn't have happened. And so, again, not verbatim, don't quote me, it was something along the lines of that, but he was like, well, I am Hermes, let's design a bag together. And so they pretty much collaborated, and the brand even reached out to her to confirm the name because they wanted to name it after her. So the bag was created in 1980s era, and it comes in 4 different sizes, and it is a bag that to this day, it is guaranteed to increase about anywhere from 5 to 10%. Each bag is unique in its own right, as it's handmade, and it has a stamp with a serial number and such on the inside. It's one of those bags that doesn't have a crazy logo, nothing flamboyant around the bag. It's very minimalistic, elegant, and it is a bag that's a symbol of social status. Fun little story time. The most expensive bag I think I've ever seen in my whole life was when I was working for Valentino. I'm gonna insert a picture. I was working with an Asian client, and it is the Himalaya crocodile bag. It is, I think, the most coveted in the world. There's only a few units made, like, ever. And I think the most expensive one is the crocodile bag with the diamond encrusted hardware in the front. That one, I believe, retails for $500,000. And I'm pretty sure that's the most expensive bag in the world. But just fun fact, I did see one without the diamonds, and I was like, wow, that's a beautiful bag right there. It's like seeing a rare animal in the wild, and even that was an experience in itself. But basically, word around the grapevine is that you need to be a loyal client to Hermes, a returning customer, an exclusive customer, and once Hermes sees your reputability as a client, you no longer have to put yourself on a wait list. They have to offer you the experience of buying one. They pretty much have changed the protocol in the last couple of years to be them offering you the opportunity, and you can no longer, as I said, put yourself on some sort of wait list to order one. So they make it that way on purpose to retain its exclusivity, and it's worked. And it is still, to this day, it's just kind of incredible how this bag has maintained its retail value and the brand as well, but it is guaranteed a bag that you will make more off of, if not what you bought it for. Next up, I want to talk about the Hermes Kelly. The Hermes Kelly is another bag, yet again, that was named after a celebrity. So the Kelly was named after Grace Kelly after she had gotten photographed pregnant, but she was trying to hide her pregnancy. And with the scandal and the drama behind the picture, she had put her Kelly right in front of the bag, and the Kelly went viral as a bag altogether. This bag was, interestingly enough, used to be called the Sac à Dépêche in the 1930s, and then got renamed the Kelly bag in 1977 because of this incident. This bag is truly one of my personal favorites, and it is such a beautiful bag. It goes with everything effortlessly, also instantly elevates a look, and it comes in the following sizes. So if you're thinking about getting a Kelly, it is never a bad idea to get a Kelly. A Kelly is a beautiful bag. It's a timeless design, and this is my top 2 pick in terms of investment bags. Next up is the Chanel Classic Double Flat Bag. This bag comes in small, medium, jumbo, and maxi. And this best-selling bag is a bestseller in size medium. This bag also has a 10 to 15% increase in price per year or every couple of years, I believe. So I wanted to include this in my top 3 because Chanel has done a miraculous job in maintaining its reputation. Usually, as a rule of thumb, every time a creative director dies in the brand or passes on to another brand, there's skepticism if the brand will do well or not and maintain its like strong reselling value. And yet Chanel has survived a lot and it does just that. Next is one of my personal favorite bags ever. It is the Fendi baguette. The bag was created in 1997 and it is inspired by French women who carried baguettes underneath their arms as if it were a fun accessory. Now, the bag had its first viral moment in 1998 when it was featured on Carrie Bradshaw several times in the show Sex and the City. And then it had another viral moment when it was featured in their reboot. And specifically the purple sequenced Fendi bag went crazy viral and just had another moment of its time, honestly, of its own. It's like the one bag that I remember that entire year became a complete it bag. One of the biggest reasons I'm including it as an investment bag is because it is a collector's item. It is an item that many brands such as Marc Jacobs, Tiffany, and more have wanted to collaborate with Fendi in creating their own limited edition exclusive baguette version. And so because they are collector's items, they will always be in demand on places like Vestiaire, Rebag, The RealReal, and etc. and more. And so they're collector's bags. I aspire to have as many as I can get my hands on. I think they're so chic. They are so fun. And I also find and have observed that generations younger than millennials have this love and affinity for vintage bags. So the more vintage a baguette is, the better. Next up is a bag I actually even own, and I can attest that the value went up. So that is any Prada nylon bag. I'm talking backpack, any of the re-edition shoulder bags, the crossbody bags, and more. Anything that's from their nylon collection by Prada is a great investment piece. And I say that because I bought my Prada nylon bag, my first one ever actually, in COVID, when COVID first started. And I had gotten it for about $1,300 and it went up in price just in the matter of 4 years to $1,950, which is incredible. And this is a bag that even if it does go out of season 1 year, it will always come back and make its way around the next. And I find that even vintage nylon bags retain their value really well. And it's one of those bags that might look very dainty, but they're incredibly durable. They're durable bags. They maintain themselves well over the years and they're easy to clean and they're just an effortless bag. So they're easy to invest in, which is something I love about them. Another nylon bag that I have to mention is the Longchamp Le Pliage. Pliage actually means folding in French, and this bag is inspired by the art of origami. So it comes in a variation of colors, sizes, but the nylon fabrication makes this bag, once again, extremely practical and a great investment bag. I feel as if it's in a great price point for the average American, yet still being a Parisian designer brand that is somewhat affordable and attainable. Next, let's talk Louis Vuitton. So I want to talk about the Neverfull. This bag was created in 2007 and it's a bag that exudes practicality. This bag has endless iterations season after season, but the Neverfull is the first one that I do have to mention that just really maintains its longevity due to its durability and its functionality, because so many women have loved it and they have also become, in a way, a collector's item due to the different iterations that they come out with each season. Next up, I have to mention this bag. It is the Lady Dior bag by Christian Dior. It's named after Lady Diana. She was seen wearing it a lot. I think it was perhaps one of her favorite bags in the 1990s. 1996, if I'm not mistaken. And so I believe the creative director at the time had named it after her because it was her favorite bag. She was even seen at the Met Gala with it as well. The bag, as we all know, features these beautiful, dainty and feminine charms on the front of the bag with the Dior logo and the classic and signature Dior ganache stitching all over the bag as well. The book tote by Christian Dior is yet another great investment bag in my opinion. The demand is always there, especially for my clients and what I've observed and seen. It's a tote that is perfect as a carry-on traveling bag and or work bag. It also serves as, it comes in a mini or a smaller version as a great everyday bag as well. And it originally became, I believe it got created in 1967. And there was an artist working at the time for Dior named Mark Bowen, and they had found his archival prints for the house. And so they had used that as like the signature jacquard print on these book totes. So I always find that the neutral ones are the best performing investment totes, in my opinion. I think the more colorful, the more eclectic, I don't want to say the worst of an investment, but try to stick to neutrals and, like I said, timelessness. Even going back to the Lady Dior, anything that is a neutral color is always going to perform better and have higher demand as it is more versatile. You guys know me too well. I left the best for last. So let's talk about the Seline Arc de Triomphe bag and why I feel that this bag deserves to wrap up this whole video for timeless, chic investment handbags. So the Seline Arc de Triomphe is a bag that, let's talk about the logo for a second. The logo was designed by Celine Vipiana, who was the co-founder of Seline a long time ago. And in 2019, you would think that the bag for a Parisian bag was designed in Paris. It was not. It was designed in Los Angeles by Eddie Slimont, who was the creative director appointed at the time. And this was a very controversial time for Seline, I have to say. I remember this very clearly because a lot of people were upset that Phoebe Philo left. There were a lot of people who were worried that the brand wouldn't perform well. But this bag is one of the best things that Eddie Slimont created when he was at Seline, and it's done incredibly well. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about these designer handbags. If you did learn something, comment or like below, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and for all your love and support. Take care.